Austin Odile still remains my name. Until February this year, I was a public officer, served with the National Orientation Agency, the foremost advocacy organ of government. And I rose to become a director and served as the state director, National Orientation Agency, Edo State Directorate. Now that I'm retired but not tired, I've gone fully into in a private life as a public affairs analyst.
Well, that is very interesting. That is, in fact, the one that you just added to it is very, very interesting. As an analyst of public affairs, that is very, very important. I will come to that later. So today, I have the honor of talking to you about the just concluded election, because having worked until you retire a while ago from the or with the National Orientation Agency, you are fully abreast with what is happening, and of course, you are one of the eyes that people will look up to in terms of the election, in preparation, what has occurred, and all of that. So let's start with the preparation. What would you like to tell us, either from you just as a citizen of the country or from your office, whichever way you want to look at it? Please go.
Oh, well, I think I'll just make it all around from the eye view of a public servant and as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. First and foremost, one thing is sure that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, as amended, has made it known to us that there is an election cycle in Nigeria, and that every 4 years, beginning from 1999, elections will hold every 4 years, because it is 4 years that is prescribed by the Constitution just mentioned for public office holders like the president, the governors, members of the National Assembly, and state houses of assembly. So the last election held in 2019, and so everyone knew that by 2023, there's going to be another round of elections, at least, to elect a new president, new governors for some states that are due, that is 28 states, and then at least for both chambers of the National Assembly and the respective state houses of assembly. So at least it is expected that the electoral management body, that is the National Electoral Commission, will hit the ground running from after the completion of all activities concerning the 2019 election, even up to when I mean concluding. At least, after every elections, there are litigations. People go to the tribunals for the governorship, Senate, and State House of Assembly or National Assembly. And then for the presidential, it starts from the appeal court. So it is after the apex court of the land, the Supreme Court, has made this pronouncement on all of this that you say, well, actions on that election has been concluded. So what I mean to say is, by then, it was expected, or it is expected, let me speak in the present, that the Independent National Electoral Commissioner will hit the ground running. When I mean hit the ground running, at least to start preparing for the next election, which is the one that just held. Definitely, when an event occurs, there are 3 things you learn from it. Number one is that you accept the fact that there was an event. Number 2, you learn, experiences from it, the mistakes, the pitfalls, or the identified gaps. And then number 3, you make every arrangement, plans to ensure that all the identified and isolated gaps, are filled, at least to ensure that in the next election, such will be minimized, if not completely, solved. So that was what was expected. So going by the preparation for the 2023 general election, the electoral management body, INEC, actually gave hope to Nigerians. Why I say gave hope to Nigerians was because the chairman of the body, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, at the drop of a hat, never, ceased to amaze. To tell Nigerians that, well, this year's election, that is 2023, is going to be a different ballgame altogether. Because one, it was bringing in a lot of innovations, technological innovations, and it worked assiduously to ensure that the Ninth National Assembly at least passes, the amendment containing relevant sections that will move election, to the next level in this country. At the end of the day, I think in 2022, that was made. The National Assembly vote never failed Nigerians. They passed it with the requisite, requirements. What the ingredients, at least as championed by citizens and then by civil society organizations. And it was passed, and the president assented to it. With that, it was like, oh, it is a whole. And then with the introduction of the beavers, the bimodal voters was adjudged to be the game changer. It was like bye-bye to rigging, bye-bye to alteration of results, bye-bye to electoral violence. Because one, it eliminated the use of incident funds like we witnessed during the time of the beavers. I mean, the other device that was used before now. So with this, at least Nigerians were rest assured that these elections, at least the electoral management body is going to deliver. So to me, there was adequate preparations. And then for this to happen, at least, INEC was equally made, autonomous. And then funds were to be drawn, from the first line charge. In other words, once the budget has been approved by the National Assembly, the approved funds are transmitted directly to the to INEC. So at least you had a humongous amount, over 350 billion naira, 366 billion naira. I think that is within that region was the amount that was budgeted for INEC. So when you're talking of funding, at least INEC had enough. Don't forget that development partners, both local and international, actually lent, their assistance in cash and in kind and in capacity building to INEC. So it was like, oh, we were just waiting to witness the best election that we ever conducted in this country. That would be the envy of even the bastion of democracy, the United States of America. So, like the question you asked, to me, there was adequate preparations by the Independent National Electoral Commission, even with the citizens. One, there was cooperation from citizens, from civil society organizations, because you understand that you agree with me that after the lifting of the ban on election, even before then, because there are two forms of information you pass. You have voter information and voter education. Let me tell you that INEC, N.O.A, and civil society organizations, citizens, the media, they help greatly in ensuring that all requisite informations are adequately passed on to the people, and that the society, what I mean society, all at large, whether of voting age or not, old and the young, not just in English language, translated to major Nigerian languages, indigenous languages, that this information are saturated, at least permeates, every nook and cranny. And of course, there are 18 political parties. Even the parties themselves, to at least, I'll give them below average when it comes to sensitization. But then I'm telling you that at least there was sufficient information concerning the conduct of this year's general election.
Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate how you open up the argument in a way that even the average person can understand it. And this is very important for us, in that we don't want to pretend that our democracy has matured to the state that there will not be any error. That is not what we expected the Independent National Electoral Commission to do. We needed to be progressing, to be moving forward. I think that is how many Nigerians actually bought into the electoral promises that INEC was going to deliver a free and fair election. Even if it's not 100% free and fair, but at least we needed to respect the will of the people. And of course, it's a continuous process.